So it's become quite evident to me that there's far too many people still in this industry that don't fully understand what quality is, what it means, what the actual word means. I sit in meetings and we talk about quality and compliance, and people instantly sit back and think that is the quality of work, the workmanship, the end product, and things like that. And it's so difficult when you're trying to deliver a piece of information about quality, and then the receiving person sat on the other end thinking about, well, is this about kind of like how the joinery looks, and if the paint is good condition, and the workmanship and the craftsmanship is of a high standard. And ultimately, that's not what quality is, or what the industry meaning is anymore. Quality is about compliance, standardization. It's more of a binary aspect. It's not how we think of it in days gone by, where quality is good and bad. Because when you refer to quality as good and bad, when you're talking about craftsmanship and things like that, it implies that there is a middle ground. There is an acceptable, subpar, above average, high quality, low quality. Whereas in today's terms of quality and compliance, there's no such thing. It's either it meets standards or it doesn't. And that's quality and that's compliance. We have set tolerances, we have set standards, we have rules and compliance to live by. Now it either meets those standards or it doesn't. And that's what it is. It's an absolute now. It's binary. It's ones and zeros. It's day and night. That is the fundamental part of quality. So when we sit back and think, is it good or is it bad? So and so delivers high quality work, so and so delivers low quality work. It's just not a thing anymore. It's either it meets the standard or it doesn't. Another thing I would like people to understand more is that something can achieve standardization, i.e., quality, but also look fairly poor. But at the end of the day, it's all about actually hitting that criteria. The specification, the standards, the tolerances that you have on your piece of paper. If the work meets those standards, then it passes quality. If it doesn't, it can look absolutely amazing and it cannot pass quality. Because at the end of the day, if it doesn't hit those standards, it's completely useless and irrelevant, and it will be rejected, and it would result in rework, abortive works, whatever. So, as an industry, more people need more education as to what quality is. Because how do you teach somebody quality? How do you get them to understand systems and behaviours and try to deliver quality? Because it's coming into our industry fast. People at the highest levels, the tier one contractors, we've been doing quality and compliance for years. But it's just as important at the lower levels of industry. Your local builders doing house extensions and small scale construction projects. It's required across the entire board. And if you don't understand how are you expected to comply? How are you expected to get on board with this level of delivery? So for me, the industry needs far more education into what quality actually means. What does it look like? And how do we deliver quality? How do we comply? How do we do that standardization? How do we follow our systems and processes? How do we put in place traceability, the necessary paperwork, the checks, which is all required as part of quality? So how do we do that? Unsure. But for me, more businesses need to sit down their workforce and just openly, do you understand what quality means? Because if you don't, we need to sit down, we need to do some training on that. Because if you do not, you're just going to do the same thing over and over again, and you're going to sit and talk about quality, and the people on the other end are going to sit and think about if something looks good or looks bad, or something in the middle they don't fully understand, and therefore they're never going to get to that delivery of quality that you need them to get to.